Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about the Raw Men's Survivor Series team. But first, hit the like button for me. Also, subscribe unless you're already subscribed, in which case, thank you for being subscribed. So the Raw Men's Survivor Series team continues to bicker, continues to argue, but we have now sort of limited all of the drama to Sheamus. Sheamus is a problem. Okay, Sheamus is the problem with the Raw Men's Survivor Series team. He keeps getting into it with Braun Strowman. He's getting into it with Drew McIntyre. Not Drew McIntyre. He's getting into it with AJ Styles. He's getting into it with everybody. Sheamus is a miserable, irritable, non-conforming asshole, and that's really what we got going on here. So AJ Styles wants to give. He made shirts. They have Raw team shirts. Now they have team nicknames. They have team shirts. They have all this stuff going on, and I can't complain about the next point because I loved it. I thought it was what they should have done from the beginning, as they were going to have a tryout match. They were going to have a AJ Styles set up a tryout match to force the team to work together, because if you don't work together, you're going to lose. And so he sets up this match with Retribution. A very weird choice for it to be Retribution, but it makes sense in the long term because Retribution is a real team. So you have this makeshift team of individual personalities that are arguing constantly, fighting constantly, and then you have Retribution, which is a solidified unit under Mustafa Ali. Mustafa. They've been going on about how to pronounce his name for a long time now, and I still ain't got it. I just keep calling him Mustafa. Mustafa. Anyway, I thought to myself I was gonna make this video and I was gonna be able to say, oh, they shit on Retribution again, man. Absolutely. Mustafa Ali cuts this promo about the Raw men's team, about, they look down on us. They think that we're pawns, talking about himself and Retribution. But even a pawn with the right move can dethrone a king. And he starts talking about how the Raw men's team is, a microcosm of WWE in general. They're a bunch of spineless, arrogant, self-destructive individuals, and Retribution won't have to do anything. All they have to do is stand back and just watch as the Raw men's team self-destructs. They'll destroy themselves, and I thought that was pretty good. It's pretty awesome. Now, I would have liked for them to have told the story, or at least kind of intimated a little bit about the whole T-Bar Keith Lee thing, because in some places, like I think like on Instagram, it's pretty obvious that T-Bar is Donovan Dijakovic, and they have pretty much said that he's Donovan Dijakovic, but they won't just let him be Donovan Dijakovic in this situation where he's in the ring with Keith Lee. It would have made more sense for you to see that, where Keith Lee is kind of like looking at him and like, oh, wait a minute, you look familiar, dog. I know that chalky face anywhere. But they didn't kind of go that route, which it would have made sense for a long form story. But I liked Mustafa Ali's promo. I think his promo was fantastic. He is a very good promo. He's very good at telling the message and spreading the message of Retribution, of what the group is about, and what the group is against, and they set up this Raw men's team as a really good, how do you say a representative of WWE in general. You have all these individual guys who got their own individual agendas. They never work together. They can't put the egos to the side, and that works. That worked for me. I really enjoyed that. I thought to myself I was gonna make this video and I was gonna be able to say, oh, they shit on Retribution again, man. Absolutely dogged them out, especially as the match kind of built and you started seeing the Raw men's team sort of get advantage, like when Braun Strowman like barreled over T-Bar and Mace, and Slapjack gets I think he got broke kicked or something like that, and they were all laying out around the ring, and I was like, oh god, oh no, Retribution is definitely about to be made an example of. And then they get into it. Sheamus started the argument again. Sheamus, I think he got tagged out. He tagged himself in. Then Strowman tagged himself in, and then other people started tagging, and so like people tagging themselves in is so weird. That's why tag team wrestling should be, brought back, as far as you have to willingly tag out instead of all these shoulder tags and back tags and all that type of stuff. Usually, I'm kind of lenient on the whole back tag, shoulder tag stuff. Like I really don't care that much about that. But then there's times where you kind of be like, ugh. I wish they didn't do the back tags and stuff like that. I wish back tags weren't legal. And I think this is one of those times where I was kind of like, that's dumb. It's kind of dumb to have back tags. But most of the time, I'm just kind of like, whatever. If you touch your opponent, you touch your partner, tag, it's whatever. I don't care. But on this situation, Sheamus had a problem about getting tagged out because he didn't want to get tagged out. He wanted to get the pin. So they started arguing. Matt Riddle has tagged himself in. And as Sheamus and Strowman, who seems to be the object of Sheamus's discontent, they seem to be the one guy Sheamus doesn't like. He always get into it with Strowman. And, because he did broke kick him, I think. Didn't he broke kick Sheamus? No, didn't broke kick Strowman? Something like that. It was a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember. In any event, Mustafa Ali rolled up Matt Riddle and pinned him. And Retribution won a goddamn match. I'll just be damned. But it was a pretty good match too. I will say this though. I do have this question. Did Donovan Dijakovic gain weight, or is it just me? He looks like he lumbers a lot more than he used to. Like, I know he's been up on the roster for a little while, maybe about 2 or 3 months, but he seems to have gained a lot of weight, and it seems to affect his work. I know I talked a lot of shit about him when he was in NXT. I said he was chalky and he does too much of the flippity-doo, but he seems to be a completely different performer now. Like, and I don't know if that's just the way they want him to work, or did they ask him to look like Kane in 2018, or what? Like, is that what his options is? Be flippity-doo chalk man, or be corporate Kane lumbering around the ring? I don't know, man. I don't really like this T-bar thing. Mace is great. Slapjack, whatever. Mustafa Ali, I love him. Reckoning, not feeling the name, but I do like the idea of Mia Yim being in this group. Not feeling T-bar. Not feeling T-bar at all. I don't like it. Now, I don't know if it's just me though. He looked like he gained a lot of weight. My brother said he like he gained some muscle, but I was like, I don't know if that's muscle, dog. Maybe, but it looked like it's affecting his work. And I think that whatever they should be doing, they need to tell him to go back to his NXT weight. And maybe his NXT style, but maybe for it to be a little bit more. I know he's working a heelish style. He shouldn't be doing moonsaults and spin kicks and stuff like that. I don't want that. But his work used to be better than it is now. And I can see that they obviously changed his size and his style. And maybe it's just for the character, maybe it's just for the heeldom, but he reminds me a lot of Corporate Kane, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I love Mace. Mace is really good, and Mustafa Ali is great. So the Raw Men's Survivor Series team lost to Retribution, and the blame was squarely placed on their arguing, their bickering, and whatever. Of course, this means they're going to win Sunday. So I think that Raw is likely going to win both the Survivor Series matches. And maybe that means that SmackDown will win the tag team match and the world title match. And maybe even the women's match, because, Asuka can take a loss. Sasha Banks is a freshly minted champion. She probably can steal one from Asuka. But we'll get to predictions some other time. But I like this story, because I like the idea of these guys have been arguing and fussing and fighting. And now they're going to, they have been forced in a situation where they tried it out. And now they got 6 days to work on the kinks, to work the kinks out. And I would have liked for them to do this previously. Maybe they could have done it where it's the Raw Men's Survivor Series team against Hurt Business. And then they lost that match. And then they say, okay, this is what we need to fix, blah, 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 blah. And then they tried it again against Retribution and lost again. Then it would have been like, okay, we're going to go out there in Survivor Series and embarrass ourselves and embarrass Raw, blah, 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 blah. That could have been a much better story than the constant bickering that they've been doing. I hate the constant bickering. But I do like the idea of the team needing to be worked out first. Like you hammering out the kinks and trying to figure out how how best the team works. And I like that, and I still think that they're going to end up having the same problems at Survivor Series that they had anyway. Like probably going to have Sheamus being a loose cannon, flying off the handle, oi, and kicking people in the face and getting disqualified and doing some other stupid stuff. And he may even be the only person on his team that loses. But I think it should still be a pretty good match. You know, I still think that the Raw team will win, but I think Sheamus will screw it up for some people. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys later.